I have a $5 million net worth at 33 years old, and a question that I get all of the time is, Nicole, I don't want to wait until I'm old to enjoy my money. How do I get more money right now? So let's talk about a few things that you can do to have more money today. The first one is something called Coast Fire, okay? And when I explain this to you, it's going to sound a little counterintuitive, but stay with me. I promise it will all make sense in the end. Coast Fire is essentially when you have enough money invested that you can coast to financial freedom. So let's say you save and invest $100,000 by the time you're in your mid 30s. Even if you never saved or invested another dollar, that could be enough to make you a millionaire in your lifetime because of the way that time and compound interest works when you invest into the stock market. Obviously, it's going to take some time for this account to grow. However, when you know that your future is taken care of and that you don't have to save or invest any other money to become financially free in your lifetime, that means you have more money for discretionary spending today. That is why one of my first financial goals was building a $100,000 investing account by the time I was 30. Now, another opportunity to help you grow your wealth faster than you would through the traditional stock market is by using real estate. The reason for this is when you buy a property, you are using leverage. You are putting down a small amount of money, which is your down payment, and buying a more expensive asset. And that's the whole concept of leverage, right? Using something small to get something big. So let's say you invested $50,000 into the stock market and you made a 10% return, that would give you $5,000. $5,000 is great, but if you put $50,000 into a $500,000 house and that house went up by 10%, then you would have made $50,000. That is a 100% return on your investment. One of the best ways to do this, I think personally, is by doing something like house hacking, which is where you buy a property with multiple units, live in one, rent out the rest. And this can cover your living expenses. This can help you put more money into savings and investments. And you reduce the risk and liability of using leverage because you actually live in the property. If you want to take it one step further, this is similar to the strategy that I actually used to make $150,000 in 2 years, is buying a property that needs a little bit of love, right? We're looking for cosmetic updates here. And then spending your own personal time and energy to update that property while you are living in it so that you are reducing your risk. And then when you're in a good spot in the market, flipping it and selling it for a profit. Now, if you can combine the both of those, house hacking with forcing appreciation, you can make a lot of money. One of my mentor's brothers actually did this. He bought a triplex and each one of the units needed to be renovated. So he would live in one, update it, rent out the others, and then repeat the process over and over again. And this guy profited $1 million in just a few short years and then moved away and retired in his 30s. Another opportunity is going to be to start a business. Usually there's always going to be a limit for how much you can make when you are working your 9-to-5 job. There's a limit to how much you can get paid on an hourly basis for your skill set, and there's a limit to how many hours you can actually work. But when you build a business, you kind of break down those barriers because now you can use leverage to hire employees. You can use leverage to implement programs that do your work for you, that help you scale your business and make more money. What you're going to notice though, the common theme about having more money now usually means it's more active on your part. You have to spend the time to build a business. You have to spend the time to find rental properties, to invest in those properties, to update those properties, to sell those properties, to manage them. And there are definitely more barriers to entry to things like that. This is why one of my main focuses is teaching you guys how to invest in the stock market because there are limited barriers to entry. You could get started with $5 if you wanted to. You don't need a lot of time to do it. You can literally do it in a couple hours a year. And it is truly passive income, right? You don't have your stocks calling you in the middle of the night telling you that the toilet is leaking. Neither strategy is better or worse than the other. You just have to pick the one that works for your personal situation. If you want more money now, you got to put in more work and time. If you don't have time or energy, then do the passive route. But ultimately, my vote is for like a little bit of both.